I became, shit happens and no one talks about that shit. Pictures say a lot, but videos are just whoever invented that. I'm grateful because I travel back in time. And every Thursday, I, in chronological order, grab a video that I recorded and I talk about this video. I can't talk to you about my life now without talking about the most important part, which is everything that happened before I got here. I was a sophomore in high school, and then in the middle of it, I moved to the United States, became a sophomore here, and by 2019, I graduated from high school, and at some point of fall season of that year, I moved to a campus in Quincy, Massachusetts, an hour away from home. Wow. A lot happened. I think that for better or for worse, that had to happen. I love my mom and I hate that I'm away from her, but whatever happened in my life that forced me to be here away from her, 8 years later, I have realized that, oof, moving to college without thinking about it 2 times. I didn't know it in the moment, but I needed to be away because I now know how distance from family impacts my development. And I didn't know that back then because I was too sad thinking about them and just missing them. And this sadness was so strong that I didn't fully take advantage of all the perks that come with going to school and living in the dorm. I also I'm not the best at handling pain, and that is something that I'm able to see now because I always decided to stay sad, you know? But if it wasn't for my roommate, I think that I would have stayed in a dark hole because she's naturally a sunshine. That doesn't mean that she wouldn't have her dark days. And I was naturally a raining cloud. And when you're a raining cloud, it's just so annoying being next to someone that's like happy and like extroverted. And it's like sometimes these people who are super extroverted, that's also a defense mechanism. Like, just like I can't stand being around people because I want to be sad, there's other people that are on the extreme side and like they don't know how to be on their own. So they're like extremely happy. Tiffany, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying that I just I couldn't stand being next to her. I would complain about her with my family and I would just be like, ugh, why? Because seeing her was just a constant reminder of the things that I was not feeling. I didn't feel joy. I couldn't laugh. I couldn't think of something else rather than just when is it going to be Friday? So I go back home and what can I do that's going to bring me joy? I'm going to write. I'm going to do so many essays for any class. I'm just going to write, 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 write. And I'm going to get straight A's. And if I don't get straight A's, I'm going to be depressed. That's all I can think about. But Tiffany, she's a character in a good way. Everyone knows it. And she happened to be my roommate. Only times I would genuinely laugh, when you have that laugh and you're like, it was with her. And I was just so jealous of her all the time because she could have that moment anytime with a random person, with anyone, even on her own. But in the meantime, I could only have it when I was with her because I would be so like low on charge all the time and her being like full on charge. It was the exact energy I needed for me to feel good. Wow, this is making me think about Vitamin People. It's a book by Marianne Rojas. She's a psychiatrist and she has a book on vitamin people, and I've been hesitant about reading this book because I feel like I know everything that I'm gonna read and like, oh yeah, I know the importance of hanging out with the right people. But now that I'm thinking about like the chemical changes that I went through, I get it even more. After being exposed to her for so long, I eventually learned how to smile at things, at people, and how to be around other people. First spring break trip in the United States, which is a very fancy thing to do when you're from DR. Like that's something that you would see in the movies. That happened because I was able to be around people. And I've always been a people person, but something happened when I moved to the United States. I became shit happens, and no one talks about that shit. And after being around her for so long, I eventually felt comfortable showing my real side. And like, my real side is goofy. I want to hang out a lot all the time. I want to go to bed late. Like, that's me. Eventually, I was able to make friends and feel comfortable enough to go on a spring break trip with a group of people. And that marked the beginning for a stage of my life that it had to happen. Met my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. I was so comfortable around people, and finally in life that I even felt comfortable being in a relationship. And when you genuinely love someone, you want to be around them all the time. And that happened because I felt alive. And I even look back at pictures of when I was around her, around other friends, months before being in this relationship that turned out to be a toxic relationship, but like way before I even knew what was coming for me, when I was just enjoying life and being around people and I was happy. I look at pictures and I look alive. Everything about me is glowing. Why? Because I'm laughing, I'm around people with energy. I am I am very social. I feel a little bit like myself because if you move from the Dominican Republic to the United States, and I'm say DR because I'm gonna speak for myself, but I'm sure this happens to other people, and I know so. And you're a girl that had friends in high school and everything, you notice the cultural difference and how social life is different in here. And my social life changed a lot, and that's how I learned the importance of being around people and the quality of the people that you hang out with, because it eventually changes you for better or for worse. And I look happy. Everything is glowing. Hair is growing. Hair is glowing because I'm around people. So I think that, yeah, it's just a short clip that shows us being two clowns in college. But that was the first video on the list, so it's my duty. I have to be honest with myself and like talk about the video that corresponds to today's video. Whatever. I just lost my train of thought, but